Alright guys, welcome back to another operaomnia video where we're going to be talking about Layle's upcoming rework, his LD weapon, and his BT weapon. We're going to take a look into his upcoming kit and whether or not it is actually worth pulling for his LD and or his BT weapon. Now, thankfully, with the release of this banner, since Global is going to get a big major change to the upcoming event that is attached to this banner, because thankfully, Global players, you do not have to experience what us JP players experience, because this whole 6-man co-op thing that they had back when it got released first in JP was, let's just say, it was a big old mess. I'm not even going to get into it because that is just how much of a mess it was, and based off of the negative feedback that the Japanese player base gave back to Square Enix, it's let's just say it's a good thing that they changed it, and it's going to be a much easier time for global players. So because of that, I can't really talk about said event because of the changes that they are going to be doing, and since there is still some information on the changes that we don't know about, I can't really get into it. So we're just going to be focusing on Layle's upcoming rework, his LD ability, and his BT effect in this video. So, as always, if you guys do enjoy the video, consider liking the video and subscribing for future operaomnia content. Let's go ahead and get into it, guys. Let's talk about his upcoming changes that is arriving to Global here in the next few days. So with Layle's rework on his field burst, which is his skill 1, he now recovers Brave before he actually does his Brave attacks and his HP attack based off of his max Brave. Then he actually does an increase in Brave damage whenever you have the Force debuff applied onto the enemies, and he also does 50% splash damage to other targets. With his skill 2, he also gets an increase whenever you have the Force debuff on the enemies, and it does make the enemies easier to launch. So with his LD ability, it's actually a unique one because of the, I guess, quote-unquote turn shenanigans that it does. So how it works is that he will recover Brave, and then he'll have an option where you can choose one of your teammates to go right behind him. But what he'll also do is that once you choose said teammate, he will go right behind the teammate. Then he will initiate the chase sequence. Now with the chase sequence, how it will work, which is different from every other character that is able to launch enemies, is that he will make it, or basically force it, where not only will he be in the chase sequence, but he will have everybody to be, or to participate in the chase sequence regardless of where they are at in the turn order. So example, if it's Layle's turn and then you have the enemies coming up as the in the turn order, and then you have your other teammates afterwards, if Layle launches with his LD ability or any of his abilities, if he has already used his LD ability, then he will launch, and he will also bring his teammates to launch as well. Now that doesn't mean that his teammates will be following up whenever you launch them if you are not using his LD ability. That only applies whenever you use his LD ability, and you are able to use that, I guess, like quote-unquote turn shenanigans, and you will have your teammates I guess, like right in front of him or behind him, however it works, because it's a little funky, because like you technically have your teammate in front, right behind him, and then like once you have your teammate right behind Layle, then Layle also goes right behind the teammate that you chose. It's a little weird. Now, alongside with his LD ability, he grants himself a special effect called the Cheeks Shining Crystal. Now this is not a buff, this is an overhead, so it's like an aura basically. So what this is that whenever his turn ends, he will recover Brave based on 10% of the HP damage that he deals. When the turn begins on his turn, he recovers Brave to himself based on 20% of his own max Brave, and then whenever he initiates a chase sequence, all party members will join the chase regardless of their turn order. Also, another thing with his LD ability is that whenever you use his LD ability, his HP attack turns into HP attack Geo Impact, which is a 3-hit Magic Braid plus HP attack, and it also initiates chase sequence on said target. Now, one thing to note is that once you use this LD ability, it'll basically make it so that the enemies, whenever it is Layle's turn, it'll make it easier for the enemies to get launched whenever it is Layle's turn. And after you use this LD ability, you're pretty much guaranteed to have everybody being in the chase sequence. So whenever you have team comp set up, or if you have call abilities, it's always good to have those call abilities or team comps that will support Layle in terms of like Brave Battery, maybe HP damage up, you know, things like that, so that you can get the maximum damage possible out of his LD ability and out of everybody whenever it is his turn and whenever everybody is in the chase sequence. Layle's BT effect, which is a party-wide effect that lasts for 5 actions, makes the enemy easier to launch. The party also gets an increase in the HP damage kappa by 20%, and the party recovers Brave based on 10% of the total HP damage dealt after an HP attack, which only occurs once per turn. So now we get to my favorite part of this video, which is going to be, should you pull for Layle's upcoming LD and or BT weapon? Now, I only say favorite because there was going to be a certain character that a lot of people are potentially going to compare him or say that he is much better than Layle, and I'm not even going to get into it in this video because best believe that is just a whole nother video on its own. And I feel like, I feel pretty confident that some people are probably going to comment either on this video or other content creators' videos saying what I feel like some people are probably going to say about this character. So I'm not even going to mention it. We're just going to focus on Layle, and that's about it. So, with that being said, Layle, is he worth it or not? In my opinion, if you are wanting to have somebody that has some good turn shenanigans, and what I mean by that, I mean by launch shenanigans, really. So if you are wanting a character that is basically giving you the guarantee that everybody is going to be in that launch, I guess like launch sequence with Layle's LD ability, then Layle is definitely your man. Is his BT required though? In my opinion, not really. I think his I think his LD weapon shines more than his BT effect, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, his BT effect has that increase in HP damage cap up, and you gain a little bit of Brave based on the amount of HP damage that you do, and you know, it makes the you are able to make you're able to launch the enemies a little bit easier, and that's about it. That's about it. You know, you're really not getting anything. And if you were to compare that, which I really hate doing this, but like if you were to compare and or look at other BT effects in the past or that we have already gone through, you technically already have better BT effects out there that you can actually use to support Layle. And with that being said, I mean, like, I think just getting his LD is probably best if you are considering or thinking about pulling on this banner. For me myself, what I'm probably going to be doing is I'm probably going to throw some tickets at it, because when he got released on the JP side, I only got his LD, but just having the ability to be able to launch and have everybody follow behind me during the chase sequence is actually pretty convenient. And if you have strong team comps, like if you have, like, let's say if you have Keys on your team, or if you have him as an LD call, if you take advantage of what Keys already brings, then you can be doing some nasty damage. You can have that strong I guess like quote unquote Brave leakage from that debuff that he implements from his LD ability, and you can basically be maxing out on your HP damage that you are doing to the enemies. For those who enjoy using launch team comps, Layle is a good add-on as well, even though it will be a bit different, because most of the launch comps that I'd be seeing, which is normally like Dark Knight Cecil, Cloud, and Dark Knight, Cecil, Cloud, and Keys, it will be a little different, and it will be not really hard, but you got to work around Layle to get it back to, you know, not to get it back, but to make that strong launch cop. You know, he would not be a bad addition because, like, again, you will have that guaranteed launch where everybody's either doing brave damage or HP damage. So when you look at it, you know, you have different ways of using Layle, whether it be in launch comms or normal team comms. You have different ways of using him, but overall though, he is not a bad character at all. He has his different uses. He is a fun character to use. And at the minimum, if you are thinking about pulling for his kit, his LD is more than enough, in my opinion, to have or to get at least for his kit. But other than that, that's going to be it for the video, guys. You guys let me know in the comment section below, what are your plans for his banner? What are you guys going to be doing if you're going to be pulling for his kit or not, or if you're going to wait until he comes back in a future banner? Let me know in the comment section below. But other than that, if you did enjoy the video, consider liking the video and subscribing for future operaomnia content. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in my next video.